And Tim, let's get back to this game a little bit. Cardinals win today. You said the Cubs need to win to keep pace. Who's the better team? Are the Cubs and Cardinals the better team in the long run?
I think the Cubs are the best team in the division. Their starting pitching right now is dominant, but Ross is right. They got to hit more, and they got to get that bullpen straightened out. But maybe that happens now that Kimbrel's back, but they need him at the best he's been.
All right, Ross, the end of a great day. You're going to spend a little time watching a baseball game and relaxing?
I am. I want to relax. I'm going to stop talking so much. I've talked all day. Just enjoy a nice big league ball game, these kids. I'm excited. I got it back to work doing Little League games tomorrow.
Attaboy. Little League will start tomorrow at 9. Of course, this game starts in just a couple of seconds. Baseball tonight will be here at the Little League World Series starting at 5. For Tim Kirshen, David Ross, Mark Teixeira, our entire crew, I'm Carl Ravitch. What a day, and now the beginning of a great night. Matt?
Rabbi, thanks. And as you know, after a passing thunder shower that threatened to interrupt the festivities, Mother Nature smiling with perhaps the stars of tomorrow on hand to watch, and they're excited to take in the stars of today. It's the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates as we welcome you to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. Well, as you well know, with the Little League World Series in full swing right down the road, Major League Baseball has for the 3rd straight year joined in the celebration. The Pirates got here this morning. Manager Clint Hurdle leading the charge off the plane. The Pirates in their jerseys greeted by the Little League stars. Same for Joe Madden and the visiting, and they are the visitors here today, technically, Chicago Cubs. It was hard holding back the smiles for Chris Archer, and I think everybody else on a big league roster that's here today felt the same way as the kids. And yes, the mascots accompany the team from the Giants International Airstrip, slight exaggeration, here in Williamsport, to the Little League complex not far from here where the Little League World Series is taking place. And the big leaguers were thrilled to be fans, if only for a short time. Anthony Rizzo took advantage to get stretched out. Same with Starling Marte, and it's something of a rite of passage to ride down the hill. And the Cubs uniform personnel took advantage of the experience. Then the bus trip, a short drive to Bowman Field here. Yes, it is the toughest ticket in baseball with a crowd of only 2,500 on hand. The smiles are undeniable. The enthusiasm like nothing else seen all season. That joy spills over from the kids to the big leaguers taking center stage. Indeed, tonight's game is about more than just Major League Baseball.
The plan is in place. Baseball just participates in it. The grown feeding the growing, showing how it's done. The kids see them as heroes, like fathers, like sons. The seed is planted, the love is passed, for a game that's buried deep in our roots, lives in our hearts, and helps us play a part in the repeating refrain. That's what happens here. The big leaguers play, the kids watch, wonder, and dream. And life and the game carries on in the Little League Classic.
And welcome to the Geico Major League Baseball Little League Classic, live from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And you talk about having the best seat in the house. Look, there's only 2,500 or so of us here, and we are delighted to be, what,
like right
13 rows behind the plate with Alex Rodriguez, Jessica Mendoza, Matt Vasgersian, Buster Olney with us as well. 3rd year that ESPN's been here for a terrific event. And Jess, as has been the case the last couple of years, you're calling Little League games across the street. So you be the one. Tell us about the experience so far.
Guys, we get to be kids again. I mean, honestly, that's the feeling.
As opposed to the adult that you usually
I'm
are.
normally extremely mature, as are you. But, I mean, you watch the big leaguers. You saw Anthony Rizzo going down the hill. All of a sudden, he's a 6-year-old, right? You see these kids in the stands. Those are who's filling the stands. That's the feeling, is all of us, adults, kids, we get to feel what it's like. when we first played this game.
Listen, it is a lot of fun, but these games count, these Little League Classic games, and the one we're about to watch tonight. Now it's for the Chicago Cubs, who are in a race to the top of the NL Central. They know that St. Louis won today. Milwaukee lost today. Playing on the road's been tough for Chicago. These are important games down the stretch.
Matty, they're important. And look, these festivities are incredible. And you see the energy, you see the kids. It's awesome. But for the Cubs, it's business as usual. And these games are vital. And it starts with their best two players, Javier Baez and Anthony Rizzo, who have been quite pedestrian the last week or so. They need to play like the stars that they are and take this team, the Cubbies, to the promised land.
Well, as we've seen at this event before, the players oftentimes have more fun than anybody. And two of the game's great sluggers, whose Little League days may seem a long time ago, are standing by with Buster Olney.
Yeah, two guys who played Little League back in the day. Chris Bryant, today, you got to be part of a tradition over at the Little League site. Kids ride down cardboard down a hill. You did that. How did that come about?
This is something I wanted to do since I was a kid. I mean, I remember watching the Little League World Series and seeing kids do that the whole time. And they gave us the chance. I was like, of course I'm doing it. I mean, that was so much fun. It's just really cool to be here with the kids. Everybody's so happy, and such a cool event for baseball.
Josh Bell, it's your second Little League Classic. What stuck out for you today?
Just watching the game earlier today, I was sitting with a kid from Maine, and he said that today was the single most happiest day of his life, just experience all the big leaguers, watching the game with them, and that doesn't make this worthwhile, and I don't know what will.
Josh, Chris, thanks. Matt, back to you.
All right, Buster. Well, Chris talked about it, and a lot of the kids have done it this week. It is a Williamsport tradition to take a trip down the hill as the Cubs and Pirates tap into their inner Little Leaguers tonight. The Little League Classic is up next.
What do you look for when you trade?
I want free access to research.
Yep, TD Ameritrade's got that.
Free access to every platform.
Yeah, that too.
I don't want any trade minimums.
Yeah, I totally agree. They don't have any of those.
I want to know what I'm paying up front.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you just say yes to everything?
Well, I say no to kale. Yeah, they say if you blanch it, it's better, but that seems like a lot of work.
No hidden fees, no platform fees, no trade minimums. And yes, it's all at one low price. TD Ameritrade.
Boost Mobile has a super reliable, super fast network, so you can stay connected almost anywhere. Like up here at Lookout Point. But there's more. Switch now and get 4 free phones for your family.
Hashtag first date.
He ain't family yet. But there's more. You also get 4 lines for just $100 a month with unlimited gigs, so you can stay close to your loved ones.
Cut your hair, hippie.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 free LG Stylify phones. 4 lines for $100 a month with unlimited gigs, all on our super reliable, super fast nationwide network.
Dear God, today is going to be big. The most watched daytime service of the year.
Some people don't know how to be rich and still act like a human being.
Stacy, this cortada is yucky. Get it out of here.
Gemstones are an absolute disgrace to all ministries.
I think somebody turned on the way.
There's a company that's talked to even more real people than me. J.D. Power, 448,134 to be exact. They answered 410 questions in 8 categories about vehicle quality. And when they were done, Chevy earned more J.D. Power quality awards across cars, trucks, and SUVs than any other brand over the last 4 years.
So on behalf of Chevrolet, I want to say thank you, real people.
You're welcome.
We're going to need a bigger room.
I love imagining that new truck smell.
The Iowa Lottery Silverado Scratch Game has top prizes of $50,000. And if you don't win, play it again in the Summer of Silverado promotion for a chance to win a cash prize of $5,000 or one of 4 fun-riding, stuff-hauling, rock-and-rolling, fully loaded Chevy Silverados.
New truck smell?
You bet.
Oh, I am so sorry. What happened to you?
I was hit by a careless driver and hurt my shoulder.
You should contact Vandergint's Law.
Vandergrip.
Vandergintst.
Vandercrisp?
Vandergintst.
Vanderbrick? Vandergrinch?
Vandergint's Law. The name to remember if you've been injured.
If you forget the name, remember VLaw.com or 800-828-VLAW.
Vandergeest?
ESPN's telecast of Sunday Night Baseball is presented by Taco Bell and in part by Fruit of the Loom Cool Zone Fly Boxer Briefs. Keep your cool with a vented fly for airflow. Pirates taking the field. Where are we? We're at Bowman Field in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, as we welcome you to the third ever Little League Classic. Yeah, Bowman Field. This place has been around for quite a while. In fact, it opened in 1926. That makes it the second oldest stadium in use in minor league baseball. It's the home of the Williamsport Crosscutters. It's the Phillies New York Penn League Short Season A affiliate. Just over 25,000 folks can fit in here, and the dimensions, as you can see, leave nothing to be desired from Major League Baseball. It is quite a ways to straightaway center field here. Before we talk more about the ballpark itself, let's get you to the Cubs Taco Bell starting lineup for this series finale. Jason Hayward leading things off despite a 3-for-23 road trip. Nick Castellanos has been terrific since being imported over from Detroit. Bunch of all-star star power 3 through 5 between Bryant, Rizzo, and Baez. Kyle Schwarber celebrated his 100th homer as a Cub on Thursday. Victor Caratini, Tony Kemp, and left-hander Jose Quintana round things out for Chicago. On the mound for the Pirates, Pittsburgh's second draft choice back in 2014, making just his 5th big league assignment, 23-year-old Mitch Keller.
A lot of Pirates fans were excited to see him come up, just his 5th start, coming off a big one. His first win was his last start. He was the #1 prospect in their system coming into the last 2 seasons. He features a fastball, a slider, a curveball, which is his best pitch, and an occasional changeup.
Jason Hayward, Nicholas Castellanos, and Chris Bryant set to start things out for the Chicago Cubs in front of a packed house. As modest as that number may be, 2,500 plus fans. You can say, Alex, All-Star games, World Series, this is the toughest ticket in baseball right here.
Scarcity. It is the toughest ticket, and it feels like a big-time high school or college game, but it feels cool, and the atmosphere is awesome. I would have loved to have played here as a player.
Jason Hayward ready to go. And we are underway in Williamsport tonight. You'll see when we bring players up tonight, as we do with Jason.
Yes.
We will tap into their own Little League days.
Oh, it's the best smile, right? You got your bat in your hand, starting off Little League.
Nice breaking pitch puts Hayward behind 0-2. So last year when we were here for the Mets and Phillies, there was a dynamic in the stands whereby the kids were almost more enamored with each other than they were the major league product on the field. They've been watching themselves on ESPN all week in the College World Series broadcasts, and they're kind of starstruck by one another as Hayward strikes out.
Indeed, Matty. You know, it's such an important formative time in your life as a young baseball player. As a young athlete, you get to compare your skills with folks that are outside the country, outside your city, and it's a barometer. You come back thinking like, hey, either I'm doing pretty good or I got a lot of work to do.
A quick out for Mitch Keller, and that'll bring up the right fielder Nick Castellanos. As we mentioned, he's been terrific since being imported over from Detroit. He's hit safely in 13 of his 16 games as a Cub.
Between him and Chris Bryant, they've really been the rock of this offense. So much inconsistency from everyone else in this offense, whether it's injury or just an up and down season. But since Castellanos has come over, he has been an absolute rock in that 2 spot.
2 balls and no strikes as Keller missed up and in with a fastball. Mitch Keller has all the pitches, big repertoire and big time velocity.
Jess, you mentioned hitting in the 2 spot. I mean, what a better place. 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the Cubs, all on pace to hit 30 or 40 home runs. So prime time real estate right there, hitting in the 2 spot.
It is the red-hot Chris Bryant waiting on deck. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 11. So when we met with Clint Hurdle today before the game, and bear in mind Clint was here 2 years ago managing the Pirates in the first ever Little League Classic. He told us quite bluntly, look, Mitch Keller is going to look only a little bit older than some of the kids playing across the street. And true to his word, Mitch has a very cherubic, shall we say, glow about him at the age of 23.
Well, he's a good-looking pitcher. He's got a good arm. You'll see the fastball, like you said, just up in the mid-90s, the breaking ball, the slider, and the change. Question for him as a young pitcher is establishing strike one and working on top of hitters.
See, Castellanos, before he stepped in there, he turned and mentioned something to the Cubs dugout right before he dug in for this 2-2 pitch. I think, part of the experience for the players, and there may be a negative side to this, is, look, this is a little distracting. The proximity to the fans, the kind of noises that you hear when you're on deck. And all these kids behave great, of course, but it's just different than the other 161 that they're going to play this year.
Well, and a lot of the players know the kids in the stands. I mean, how often does that happen? I mean, they can go and point out different kids because they've been watching them on TV. I mean, they could go up. Chris Bryant right now has got a kid within 5 feet. He can congratulate him.
Curveball is hit a bunch out to left field. Reynolds will watch it, and that one is gone. His 6th as a Cub in not even 14 games.
The 2-2 breaking ball, and it was a cement mixer. Plays like a BP fastball. Castellano knew exactly what to do with it. Just speeds his bat head up. And when you hit that slider, you clip it like a golf ball. It goes a long ways into the mountains here in Williamsport.
One 1-0 Chicago, and here's Chris Bryant.
When you come to a new stadium, you get to the field early, and there's a few things you look for. Obviously, we don't have the third deck here that you have in most Major League Baseball parks. A little bit more like spring training, so that's an adjustment for the outfield. But as a hitter, look at the eye drop. Great vision, and that's probably the most important thing for any hitter, is how well am I going to get to see the ball. In this stadium, you're going to see it very well.
How cool is it for you right now, though? I mean, we are behind home plate. I mean, you just mentioned the batter's eye and what you can look at. Right now, you can see what hitters are seeing from here. What does it look like for you, this view? If you got a bat right now and you're jumping up, is this a good batter's eye?
Which is getting my competitive juices going. I'm like, I want a little action here. You see that slider go a long ways. You see that eye in the background. You see it so well. And it may not be a Major League stadium, but as Major League conditions. Major League Baseball has done an incredible job, from the grass on the field to the batter's eye to everything else. A+ for Major League Baseball.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Chris Bryant. Into foul territory. Is there room for Bell?
Oh, come on.
Almost. He's unable to make the catch. It's another thing, I mean, look, it was raining earlier today, so neither team had a chance to do much on the field before the game. To get off the bus and come here and say, okay, fellas, go strap it on and play 9 without walking off the track, without, nobody takes infield anymore, but there hasn't been a whole lot of customized work to this facility today.
That's a great point, Matt. And I talked to a couple of the Pirates players, and they were like, it's a bummer that we don't get a chance to see how the grass rolls, to see how the foul balls and the bunts, that they go foul or they stay fair, and to see how the ball carries in batting practice. You usually don't care if you hit outside or not, but in a day like today, it's paramount to go out there and get a feel.
Chris Bryant, not unlike Herbie the Elf in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon. Grew up wanting to be a dentist. He strikes out, and they're 2 gone.
What I love about Castellanos going back to his home run is just getting this pitch almost off that back leg. And that's what he's done such a good job of, Alex, is since he's come over. It's just done such a beautiful job of recognizing pitches and being able to understand what he's coming into an at-bat looking for. You got to understand, Mitch Keller, this is only his 5th start. These Cubbies have not seen a whole lot of him.
That breaking ball is very dangerous. You want to throw that looper, dump me strike 1, but 2-2 count. You throw me a breaking ball that lands a strike. That's a dangerous pitch, and a home run is no surprise there because the hitter is in swing mode.
Here's Anthony Rizzo now with 2 gone.
Future lawyer.
Oh, man. Exactly what the world needed when Anthony Rizzo was growing up as a future lawyer. He's jammed a roller for Bell, and his opposite number gets it to Keller in time. It's a solo shot that starts the scoring tonight. Nick Castellanos, number 6 is a Cub. 1-0 Chicago in Williamsport.
Gangs are forming to liberate tacos from Tuesday. So whether your gang is crunchy, soft, or straight up locos, it's time to come together and fight for tacos any night.
Are they dance fighting?
Taco Bell Party Packs. Order ahead or get it delivered for your gang on TacoBell.com.
Doesn't that cloud right there look like a penguin?
Really? That looks exactly like a busted pipe spewing water everywhere.
Can you just stop being an insurance agent for like 2 seconds?
It's my job to think about these things.
Well, what does that cloud look like?
That looks just like your house. That's being burglarized. They're stealing your TV right there. Oh, and right there, it's a bear destroying your car.
You need a vacation. Soon, very soon.
You know, Chris, some of us don't have an off-season.
This is how we do the summertime, summertime.
This year, squeeze even more summer out of your summer. Save big on all 2019s during the Hyundai Epic Summer Clearance. And make your summer better than ever. The Hyundai Epic Summer Clearance.
Right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on a 2019 Tucson or Santa Fe. Only at Hyundai.
Well, in terms of where we are between Pittsburgh and Chicago with the help of Google Maps, Little League Complex is 5 miles away from where we are here at Bowman Field. But bigger picture, 210 miles, a quick flight from Pittsburgh, 622 miles from Wrigley Field. Of course, the Cubs were in Pittsburgh for their series, wrapping up their 10-game road trip. Let's take a look at the Taco Bell starting lineup for the home side. Here's how Clint Hurley aligns the Bucks against Jose Quintana tonight. Kevin Newman, Adam Frazier, and Starling Marte lead things off. Josh Bell, in the midst of perhaps a historic season with 98 RBIs, bats cleanup this evening. Brian Reynolds has turned into a star after being acquired in a deal last year from San Francisco. He's in left field tonight. Pablo Reyes, Colin Moran, Jacob Stallings, and Mitch Keller round things out against the 2016 All-Star 30-year-old left-hander Jose Quintana.
Yeah, the softball. You said 30 years old. He's got the fastball. He's got the curveball, much improved curveball, and he's got 2 of them: a dump me over strike 1 and a little tighter for strike 3, and the changeup. Expect him to pitch backwards all night long, and he is on fire right now.
Kevin Newman, Adam Frazier, Starling Marte lead things off for the Bucks.
Yeah, he had that career high 14 Ks you mentioned, and the biggest thing that popped out with Quintana in his last start was the fact that he was commanding that fastball at the top of the strike zone.
There's the curveball that's flared out the other way. Castellanos has no choice but to let it drop in. Well, for Jose Quintana, you could almost break up his season into thirds, chunks, if you will. First 6 starts, pretty good. Next 9 starts, not very good. But in his last 8, he is undefeated and shaved 2 full points off the ERA from that middle chunk. Remember, his first appearance of the year was in relief. He started every game since. And Jose Quintana, as a matter of fact, has made more starts than any other pitcher in baseball since the start of the 2013 season. Leadoff hitter report for Pittsburgh. Here's Adam Frazier.
And for the Cubs and Quintana, perfect time of the year to be hot and get hot. The Cubs will depend on him and that left arm if they want to make it deep into the postseason.
Yeah, the Cubs have struggled with the starting inconsistencies in their pitching staff the same way they have as a lineup in spurts this year. Yu Darvish has been really good of late. Kyle Hendricks has had some pretty dramatic home road splits, not as effective away from Wrigley. Quintana has been their most consistent over the last month or so.
When it comes down to it, if this is going to be a postseason team, they need Hamels, Hendricks, and Lester, the three. And I get Quintana and Darvish and what they can contribute, but this team relies so much on their top three dogs, which has been Hamels, Lester, and Hendricks.
Newman runs and Frazier puts it in play in the air out to left field for Schwarber. And there's one away for Quintana. You know, regarding the Pirates, and it's a storyline that, you know, folks back in Pittsburgh are reluctantly used to hearing about. They got into the All-Star break just 2.5 games out of first place in the Central. Lost 15 of 17 coming out of the break. And overall have lost 26 of 33 since the 3-game All-Star break in July. Here's Starling Marte now. Marte has not been one of the problems. He's in the midst of perhaps his finest overall year and takes a 5-game hitting streak into play tonight.
Matt, I can tell you, talking with some of the Pirates today, they're absolutely shocked with how they fell off the map after the All-Star game.
Just as shocked, I think, as we were watching it, because everybody had the Pirates as like a sneaky contender for a wild card or even a division title, given the bunch up in the Central.
Especially because of how they started. It was one thing if they kind of came out the gate, struggled a bit. I don't think the expectation was very high on this team at all, especially in what was going to be a very competitive Central at the top. But then they were right there in the mix.
And these two guys right here, Marte and Bell, are a big part of this team now and in the future. Talking to Joy Cora, third base coach for the Pirates, he told me Marte's finally hit that step where now he's matured on and off the field.
What a play by Javi Baez. Man, that ball was ticketed for left center field. Yeah, the kids know a good play when they see one.
And Javi Baez, the magician, this ball was already in center field. It looked like first and third. He makes a great play, and then a very difficult flip, almost like a no-look flip. This ball's behind him, and a perfect flip to Camp.
So they rank all the little leaguers that come in. They ask every kid, who's your favorite player? And then they do like a ranking, okay? Javier Baez, #1. 10 votes over Mike Trout. I mean, it's crazy to think, and not crazy because Javier Baez isn't the guy that should be #1, but just how loved he is internationally across the country. I mean, he's their dude.
Here's Josh Bell now. The 2-out base runner aboard, that's Marte. I guess that's not a huge surprise, right? I mean, he plays with such a flair. He's such a charismatic athlete. It's not just kids that love watching him play.
Well, he plays with emotion. He doesn't hide who he is. And I think for a lot of young kids, that's relatable. They can see themselves in him. And that's one of the things he talked about. He came over to the field today. We interviewed him, and he was saying there were kids on the bus, and they just all swarmed him. And they were just asking him question after question. What do you eat? What do you like to do on Saturdays? Like, I mean, little 12-year-old questions. They wanted to know him better.
I mean, he's a baseball player. I remember as a little kid going to Miami Arena and watching Allen Iverson and the Sixers come play the Miami Heat, and I could not take my eyes off this young man. for 3 hours. And the same is true for Javi Baez. He's got the swagger, he's got the confidence, and every once in a while, guy just looks like a baseball player. That's Javi Baez.
Ball on a strike to Josh Bell. For Quintana on a tough chance, he gets to it nicely and retires his man. No damage in the bottom half of the first. Javi already flashing the glove in front of the kids, and he'll lead things off as we go to the second in a 1-0 Cubs lead.
Get ready, crab fans, because Crab Fest is on at Red Lobster with 9 craveable crab creations like our new Crab Imperial, now just $15.99. Or crack into a pound of wild-caught snow crab, now only $19.99. Grab your crab crew. Crab Fest ends September 1st.
What beats next day shipping? Getting what you need the same day. With Ace, you can buy online and get free store pickup or get it delivered that day. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their stuff.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Dawn breaks as Ryan struggles to set up his company's 401k. Every minute counts. He fights to maintain his nerve. Nearby is another small business owner who's thriving with Guideline, the easy, affordable 401k plan. Sign up, personalize a plan, and start saving for retirement. Behold Ryan's 401k prowess. Guideline, the small business way to 401k.
Shaving has been difficult for me. I have very sensitive skin. I get ingrown hairs. Oh, I love it. It's a great razor. It has that fence in the middle. It gives it a nice smooth shave. Just stopping that irritation, that burn that I get. I wouldn't use anything else.
It's a familiar feeling. The first chill in the summer air. Each day shorter than the last. The crops are done growing, and the antlers are too. Your groups are getting smaller, and they better, because your tag just came in the mail. This is what you live for. It's your season. So head to Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's for the Fall Hunting Classic sale and event. It's your chance to gear up at big savings. Your adventure starts here.
A classic rivalry, like an original piece of art, is timeless. Two teams at the peak of their game. On Sunday Night Baseball, Yankees, Dodgers, next Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
Javi Baez, Kyle Schwarber, and Victor Caratini would lead things off in the top of the second inning for Chicago. Welcome back to Williamsport at Bowman Field. It was a home run by Nick Castellanos that started the scoring for the Cubs in the first inning tonight. And Mitch Keller back to work against Javi Baez, who, as we documented last inning, is the kid's choice for most popular big leaguer. However, if you'd asked that same question to Mitch Keller, he would have responded Mike Trout, and still claims Mike Trout as his favorite player, because Trout played single A ball in Keller's hometown of Cedar Rapids, Iowa in 2009.
Wow.
So imagine the thrill for Mitch when, in just his 4th major league start on Monday in Anaheim, he got to face Mike Trout.
Start, he picked up his first win. It's also crazy to think that that's how young he is. That he watched Mike Trout when he was younger.
Yeah, right. There's one gone as we have a special embedded reporter among the 12-year-olds tonight. Chris Archer is wearing a microphone for us. Hey, Chris, thanks for doing this. And I guess we're going to have you conduct some Q&A with the kids today. Are you up for that?
Cool. Yeah, I'm down. Thanks for having me on, guys. Thank you.
It's great to have you with us. I know that you were doing this over at the Little League field earlier, but now that we're on the big league stage, I hope you get the same out of the kids that you did this afternoon.
I'll do my best. Hey, so I got a question for you. What's been the most fun part of the trip?
Playing on fields.
Playing on the nice fields?
Yeah.
Yep.
Our home fields. Oh, dude.
Okay. So they like playing on the nice, fresh fields in Williamsport. That's what they like the most. Who's the most likely to get to the big league?
Most likely?
You. What about big man over here? No?
No.
No? All right. All right, so who's the best dancer on the team? Manny? Show us some moves, bro. Show us some moves, bro. Come on. Let's see. Show us some moves. Hey.
Arch, where are your moves?
No, hey, I got no moves. Yeah. But some of you guys are Puerto Rican, right? Dominican. So who's your favorite baseball player? Gary Sanchez. All right. Are all of y'all Javi Baez guys?
My favorite player is
Pete Alonso? Okay. All right. Hey, man, how you get your hair like this, bro? Now, let's see it. Show it to me. Whoa. Okay. A little nappy because of the hat, but it's still fresh. It's still fresh.
Hey, Chris, are they aware that you play Major League Baseball? Do they know who you are?
Yeah, they were asking me before I came on, like, how hard I throw and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure they didn't think you were some yahoo that sat down and started asking them questions. Like, you're pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. Most of them good.
All right, Chris, hey, we appreciate you doing this, and we're probably gonna tap into you again if you'll have us a little bit later on.
Oh yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Our special embedded reporter, Chris Archer, with the kids here in Williamsport tonight. Meanwhile, it's a full count to Kyle Schwarber, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that's in play for Bell, who's already been busy tonight for at number 2. Okay, see ya.
Slow-mo moves.
Looks like Alex Cora.
So Chris was, riding the bus over when they landed, and we had one of our reporters, Sebastian, in with them, and one of the kids came up to him and said, "Hey, I know you. You're Chris Archer." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're the one that gave up all those home runs, yeah?" I mean, the innocence of like the kids. Poor Arch. He was like such a good sport with it.
There's Victor Caratini with 2 out and the bases empty.
But again, just the relatability, like him kicking it with the kids, being silly, having fun.
Keller looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Again, the trouble came in the first on the Castellanos home run. As you take a look at Caratini's player profile. Pechuga de pollo. What's that, Alex?
Something with chicken.
Thank you.
I think you said pechuga de pollo.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, the translation. I was good at the pollo part.
You helped me with English, I helped you with Spanish. We're a perfect couple.
Okay. 2 balls and a strike to count to Victor Caratini. Cubs trying to fill that catcher spot between Jonathan Lucroy, who they signed recently, and Victor Caratini. All that in the absence of the all-star Wilson Contreras, whose absence is certainly felt.
And felt on both sides of the ball. Matt was playing at extremely high level, and a guy that's coming into his own as a superstar in the game. Hungry, brings energy every day. Getting better with pitch calling, and just overall just getting more comfortable is a big hole in that team, no matter what these guys do.
And they felt like they totally locked into Jonathan Lucroy, who had just been designated for assignment by the Angels, so they had a veteran for his help down the stretch.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Victor Caratini, and it'll go to a full count. There's Jonathan.
And Buster, to your point, if you're Jed Hoyer and Theo Epstein, the front office of the Cubs, you're looking for someone to handle the 11 or 12 pitchers. You're not looking for offense. You're looking for a veteran presence, a calming presence that can take that scouting report and execute night in and night out.
Caratini beats it on the ground to second base to wrap up the side 1-2-3. Hey, Chris, we're going to say goodbye, and we thank you not only for helping us out tonight, but earlier today at the Little League side. We're keeping a chair warm for you in 10 years when you retire. Anyway, nice talking to you. still 1-0 Chicago.
See you, Chris.
When you know what's behind you, beside you, and up ahead, you can keep your mind on bigger things. Safety first, and second, and throughout the all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year.
We trust USA more than any other company out there. They give us excellent customer service every time.
Our 18-year-old was in an accident. USA took care of her car rental and getting her car towed. All I had to take care of was making sure that my daughter was okay.
If I met another veteran, and they were with another insurance company, I would tell them, you need to join USAA because they have better rates and better service.
We're the Gomez family.
We're the Rivera family. We are the Kirby family, and we are USAA members for life.
Get your auto insurance quote today.
Mi padre me enseñó este juego y mi hermana me inspiró a conquistarlo. Pero mientras desarrollaba mis habilidades, yo definía mi estilo. Le daba homenaje a mi casa. Yo encontré mi voz en medio de la magia del juego. They call me El Mago, the magician. Call me what you want. I just want to play.
Here's to the hill, where custom seating is the norm. The view of Lomedy, grand, and features the preeminent cardboard slide. Here's to the Little League World Series continuing through August 25th on the networks of ESPN.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. This telecast is presented by Taco Bell. Kids getting into the spirit of the thing. A mascot-driven dance, just like these current big league stars years ago. Anthony Rizzo. John Lester smiling. Kevin Newman. And Josh Bell was still big and strong, even as a kid. Boy, those guys have been busy today. Command performances across the way at the Little League event. And both in the middle of the action tonight. Brian Reynolds leads things off in the Pittsburgh half of the second. Reynolds, Reyes, and Moran against Jose Quintana. Quickly, Reynolds behind 0-2. We should probably mention, and if you haven't already noticed, it is not the standard issue Major League jerseys being worn tonight. Players Weekend is next weekend, and the Cubs and Pirates are getting it off to an early start by debuting the nickname jerseys in front of our national audience tonight.
We got to wear them last year.
I think they're going to make us do it next week.
Yeah.
Yankees, Dodgers. But listen, you want to see a bunch of Major League Baseball players act like little leaguers? Just give them anything with free swag. It's like we're all broke, right? They get new stuff and everybody's excited. They're showing everybody, taking pictures, Instagramming it, Twitter. It's awesome.
0-2 to Reynolds. I mean, some of the nicknames are obvious, like Melky Cabrera's nickname's been the Milkman for a long time. Summer plays on words. Hollywood is Cole Hamels. He's been saddled with that for a long time.
Melky, also known as Leche, which is milk. And when he was with the Yankees, we called him Lech.
Shorten even the nickname for the nickname.
That's right.
2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Brian Reynolds. Switch hitter in from the right side, and the 2-2 home. Brian Reynolds, by the way, has turned into one of the brighter developments around the 2019 Pirates. Until a hitless night last night, he was leading the National League in batting. It's something that does not happen very often for a rookie player. In fact, never has a National League rookie won a batting title. Hot shot to third that eats up Bryant. Reynolds takes the bag hard. He's on his way into second. And the Bucks have their leadoff hitter in scoring position. We're going to listen into the kid PA announcer tonight, Lincoln Griplar from Australia.
Up to bat, the right fielder, number 15, Pablo Reyes.
Always have to have a good accent, right?
I mean, everything sounds better with an Australian accent.
They had some of the Australian kids doing all the promos for the Little League World Series games, had them reading them all.
Here's Pablo Reyes now with the runner at second base and nobody out. Pablo Reyes with that very active Gary Sheffield style waggle at the plate. There's a lot of moving parts here. He's in front, 2 balls and no strikes. To 3-0 now. Left-handed batter waiting next, Colin Moran, a.k.a. Redbeard. A moniker that needs no explanation. 3 balls and no strikes. Quintana trying to battle back in the count after starting Reyes 3-0. Jose Quintana, by the way, has been at his very best this season for whatever reason against the Pittsburgh Pirates. A perfect 3-0 against the Bucks this year, an ERA under 3. That's in 20 innings of work. Plenty of sample size.
Yeah, the 21 Ks to 4 walks is what jumps off. Just super efficient.
He's come all the way back to fill the count against Reyes, 3-2.
Oh, beautiful.
Up to bat, the third baseman, number 19, Colin Moran.
So now Colin Moran with 1 out and a runner at second base.
Quintana 3-0 all the way back, strike, foul ball, and a perfect fastball in.
Oh.
That's a big time comeback.
Moran was hitless yesterday. It ended a modest 6-game hitting streak on the first pitch. Lines to shortstop. Baez with another terrific play. Making that play even more difficult, the fact that he was screened by Reynolds, the base runner.
Matty, you're exactly right, and that's the toughest play as a shortstop. When you're screened, and you'll see it right here in front of you. And luckily for Baez, a little ducking right there helped him because he saw the ball a little bit more clear.
I just love all the kids' reaction. I mean, and they would do that with any player, but they love Javi like we talked about earlier, and it's just cool to see great defense. And guys, that's what stood out to me doing the Little League games is they've lessened the bats. We haven't seen as many home runs, which has been really cool because it puts such an emphasis on the defense, and you can tell that's what these teams have worked so hard on. So their eyes lit up. Of course, every kid gets a noise stick when they come in, right? You know, the kids have got as loud as they possibly can, but they were pounding them after Baez made that catch.
0-1 the count to the catcher, Jacob Stallings.
Hold on. Jess, it's funny, you mentioned kids playing better defense and the adjustment with the aluminum bats. I always tell young kids and high school players, offense is what you see in Sports Center. Defense is what gets you to the big leagues. So young kids, focus on defense. The more defense, the better.
And Sports Center will show it too. And that's what's, I think, gotten more and more is just the appreciation for the really great plays.
0-2 to Jacob Stallings. Quintana trying to strand that leadoff hitter who reached on the 2-base error charged to Chris Bryant.
And if you're Quintana here, you want to get Stallings because you want Keller to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Hey, coming up in just a little bit, by the way, it's going to be a lot of fun for us. Not only did we have Chris Archer in the stands here are so small we can make eye contact with virtually everybody in the ballpark tonight. And I think Alex has cajoled his ex-teammate Mike Mussina, new Hall of Famer, into joining us here in the booth shortly. So we'll talk to Mike, who has plenty of local flavor to add. He is a native of the area here and still makes his off-season home about 15 minutes up the road.
Stanford alum, still coaching varsity basketball.
Go Card.
A ball and 2 strikes to count to Jacob Stallings. High drive out to center field. Routine play for Jason Hayward. And Quintana does indeed strand that leadoff hitter at second base. Through 2, still 1-0 Cubbies.
It's the meteor shower of the decade, but you're too busy gazing at double the beef and double the layers you love. Maybe next decade. The $5 Triple Double Crunchwrap Box, only at Taco Bell.
Jenny can't take your call right now. She's taking a break from a job that's always on. But maybe the change Jenny needs is closer than she thinks.
Gatorade packs carbs to refuel and electrolytes to replenish, so you can bring the heat. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Game-changing, super hydrophobic, ultra durable, and affordable. Mother's revolutionary CMX ceramic spray coating. Just spray it on and wipe it off. Join the revolution.
Well, Mike Mussina is a new Hall of Famer as of this summer. A glorious 18-year career spent with the Orioles and Yankees. A career ERA in the mid-3s, 270 career wins, 20th on the all-time strikeout list. And Mike Mussina, a well-deserved member of the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown as of last month. Mike, welcome, and let us be among the many that have congratulated you on a pretty cool summer.
Thanks. It has been a pretty cool summer. It was a really busy weekend, but it's awesome being here. This is a great event, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Let me hit you with this before we turn it over to the serious stuff, because as you know, since you're a native of the area, no Ritz-Carlton, no Four Seasons. Can you believe the guy to your right has actually come here to
He's not staying here. He just came in for a couple hours and he's leaving. Don't kid yourselves.
It feels like we're back in pinstripes. I love it. I love it.
Did you notice on the highlight reel who your first strikeout was on that?
I did see him up there. I didn't know if it was the first one, but I saw it. What was that, a split?
It was something. I couldn't hit anything.
You got to give us the dirt. I mean, he brags, talks about you.
It was, you know, we only played together like 5 years, I think, in New York, and it seemed like it was 25 years, and that's a good thing, a good 25.
You're telling me. You know, we've talked a lot when you haven't been here about how great it was to play with you, but what a lot of people don't know about you, Mike, is that you're a great teammate. You're quiet, but I remember the time you pulled me aside. I was really, really struggling. And I would like you to share with our audience what you told me about all this nonsense long swing, and you just said,
we're really getting psychological here.
Yeah, well, I like it because, I mean, for a pitcher,
is this an in-depth show? This is just baseball, man.
Nothing but time. Nothing but time, Mike.
Listen, how long am I on? I got yelled at once before I sat down. I wasn't moving fast enough. All I did was I'd watched him play. He'd just come to New York, and I'd watched him play for, you know, maybe 6 weeks or 2 months, and I just walked over. We were taking batting practice, and he had gotten done hitting, and he was out taking grounders at third, and I was shagging in right field, so I walked over, and I stood behind him and just stood there for a while until he turned around and said, "Hey, Moose, what are you doing?" And I said, "Just seeing how you're doing." And he goes, "I'm doing all right." And I said, "Can we talk about what's going on?" And so I said, "It looks like you're just trying to make it look good, and you want to hit a homer every swing, and that's not the guy I pitched against. So let's figure out what you're really supposed to be doing, and let's get it going." So that's all it was. It was just to let him know that you don't have to put on pinstripes and be the greatest player on the planet. You just have to be yourself.
Moose, you grew up not far from here. You've seen Little League from the time you were a kid, and now with Major League Baseball coming here for the Little League Classic. How much have you seen the growth of Little League?
Well, I've grown up here, so when I was a kid, we used to go over to the series in August, and there were 8 teams and 1 stadium, and now, you know, 40 years later, there's 2 stadiums, there's 16 teams. We're bringing a Major League game here to Williamsport during the actual season. And so it's just you know, the involvement of the kids and everything they get to experience just coming here, let alone whatever happens at the series, whoever wins or loses. It's just a great experience for these kids, and I hope they remember it the rest of their lives.
What's your job now? What are you doing?
What's my job?
You're your local basketball coach.
I'm retired, but yeah, I'm a high school sports coach. Is pretty much what I do. I've been doing high school basketball for 6 years.
There you are.
Look at that.
Looking very coachy, Mike.
How about that tie? Check out the tie.
Look like a young Coach K.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 6 years, and I love doing it. My kids play, so that makes it great. But you know, it's just, you know, I do baseball in the spring. I help out with baseball in the spring, and you know, I go around with the golf team in the fall. Golf's a fall sport here, so I'm like full-time employed high school sports coach.
What's amazing is early on when we first started playing together, you told me this is what I want to do when I retire. I want to go back to Montoursville, hang out with my family, and coach the next generation, and you've done exactly that. How enjoyable has that been for you? I mean, it's awesome. I love that you do that.
Oh, that one got out. Oppo. Jason Hayward with a solo shot to make it 2-0 Chicago. Mike, you want to break this down for us? What do you see here? What do we got?
Well, the ball's up a little bit, and he just went with it. And you know, he's a strong enough player, obviously. If you get it on the barrel and stay through it, that's all he did. He just, you know, if that ball's down 6 or 8 inches, it's probably a good pitch. But it was just up enough that he could get the barrel to it easily and drove it out over the low wall there and left. That's it.
Castellanos, who got the homer in the first.
All right, now let's talk about the shift. All right, let's talk about the shift. Now, first of all, if I get Alex to roll a ground ball to the second baseman just like that, and the guy's standing over behind second base and it's not an out, I'm going to be irritated. Yeah. So that's just me. I'm old school, and I know there's all kinds of numbers with this stuff, but that's an example of something that would have really bothered me.
What would you do? Like what? Because now that's the analytics, the saber, all of that is so much is driving the game because of the percentages? Would you go and have a conversation ahead of time? Would you tell your second baseman, get back over there?
I mean, when I came up, that you would turn around and there would be pitchers when I was coming up who would turn around and you know, we didn't shift all like this, but they would move a guy to the hole, or they would move outfielders. Pitchers would stand right there on the mound and point at people and move them over, and that's just because they knew you know, how this guy hit against them or whatever. So it's just the game changes, the game evolves. I understand that, but that's something that right there would have really irritated me.
Well, Chris Bryant is used to hitting into the shift. StatCast AI powered by AWS. He has faced it in over half of his plate appearances. And for better or for worse, that's just the way it is for Chris. By the way, that hasn't slowed him down. He's been terrific despite all the shifting and stunting done defensively on him. 2-1. Hey, Mike, you mentioned that you're old school there, and I hope we have time to get into this, but I know that Buster Olney, who covered you in New York and in Baltimore, was telling some Mike Mussina stories earlier today. Is it true that you actually taught yourself how to pitch by watching the NBC Saturday Game of the Week at one point in your career growing up in Montoursville?
Well, I learned to throw. I mean, I never like had a pitching coach or until high school or anything like that. So yeah, I kind of. I would say I'm self-taught.
Can you hang around for another half inning?
Oh, heck, I'll be here as long as you want.
Yeah.
Don't make those promises.
Just because he went to Stanford.
Seriously, Alex and I will leave. You guys can talk Stanford baseball when we come back.
Fall in love with thousands of brands with Prime Wardrobe.
This is Jerry. Jerry has a membership to this gym, but he's not using it. And he has subscriptions to a music service he doesn't listen to and 5 streaming video services he doesn't watch. This is Jerry learning that he's still paying for this stuff he's not using. He's seeing his recurring payments in Control Tower in the Wells Fargo mobile app. This is Jerry canceling a few things. Booyah. This is Jerry appreciating the people who made this possible. Oh, look, there they are.
This is Wells Fargo.
And now, the Employee of the Year Award. And the winner is Michael Paley. Where are you? Michael, hey! He is. You don't win, Michael. Sit down. You, up. You win.
Rivalries are tough.
I just started today.
Let's hear it for the new guy, huh?
Saving money with Geico is easy. Geico, proud partner of MLB.
Through the AT&T network, edge-to-edge intelligence gives you the power to see every corner of your growing business. From using feedback to innovate, to introducing products faster, to managing website inventory and network bandwidth, giving you a nice big edge over your competition. That's the power of edge-to-edge intelligence.
Right now, a movement of young people are stepping up to shred hate and choose kindness.
Join one of the largest anti-cyberbullying campaigns ever. Text SHRED to 38383.
DoSomething.org. Let's do this.
2-0 Cubs as we hit the bottom of the third here in Williamsport, visiting with Hall of Famer Mike Mussina as the Pirates dig in to go back to work on Jose Quintana, Mitch Keller, Kevin Newman, and Adam Frazier.
Oh, now that's what we're talking about. Parents aren't around. Get the Dippin' Dots and the cotton candy.
Hey, Mike, you know, being from the area here, and it strikes me, I know it's been talked about regarding your career, but for kids growing up in this area, baseball cannot be a 12-month of the year endeavor necessarily because of the weather. Was it at all challenging? Is it hard for you and your kids growing up to play all year?
We don't play baseball all year up here. You know, it's snowing and cold, and no, I mean, since I'm a high school sports coach, I mean, I'm voting for play as many things as you can, be as athletic as possible, and I hate to see these kids and I know travel ball and all that stuff is part of it, but if they're out there throwing from April 1st until Halloween, and they're kids and they're throwing the same weight ball that me and Alex were throwing around when we were grown men, and your body just can't do it. So I mean, I would love to see him do as much as possible.
We'll take you down memory lane here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Mike Mussina.
There's no video of this. Look at that.
Look at the glasses.
Look at that.
Awesome.
That was before they invented contact lenses.
Nice short speech, about 12.5 minutes, Moose.
Oh, at the Hall of Fame?
On point, yeah.
Yeah, I did my best. They said 10 minutes, and I stayed close, and everybody was saying, way to go, man. That was a great job, and everybody else got a little chatty.
So, you know, Jess, Matt, you talked about, like, what does Moose say? Moose doesn't say much. He just looks at you. And if you're out of position, and if you don't do what you're supposed to do, I mean, much like the guy I grew up watching, Dan Marino, who's also from Pennsylvania around this area, the look of Mike Mussina is all you do. You never wanted to get that. But look, Mike, my question is, you could have gone to be a field goal kicker at Penn State. You decide to go to Stanford and get an economics degree.
Good decision.
I've never felt so out of place here with you two smart guys, smart peeps. Show me how you throw. You have about 5 pitches. Show me fastball.
Depending on the year.
Yeah. And then show me. So that's four-seamer.
That's straight four-seam fastball. That's
right
pretty simple.
Give me your knuckle curve, which I would swing and miss all the time. Yeah.
So something like that, tucked way in here, pulled it real hard. I just put my finger up here to get it out of the way, basically, because you throw a curve with this finger.
And what people didn't realize is, go ahead, knuckle it, that you would throw it from up here, but then you would throw it here and here and here.
Well, when you gotta keep inventing ways to get people out, you gotta change arm angles and do other stuff. But you know, you throw 2 seamers and make it sink. You grab a little bit like this and throw a change. You know, throw a little bit of a cutter.
And then you made up the split in the middle of the World Series.
Throw the split whenever you need it. You know, just make it up. Maybe throw some knuckleballs.
You did throw.
You threw a split. You broke it out in the World Series.
No, it wasn't a World Series.
No, but he did throw a knuckleball.
No, I threw a knuckleball to Wade Boggs one time just to mess around. Yeah, I broke out a split for some reason. I thought it was like the next thing I wanted to add, and I went about half a season with it, and then I decided I didn't want it anymore. So I went back to what I was doing and just, you know, keep making stuff up. Try to throw some Greg Maddux, you know, backdoor sinkers to righties, and just
keep cutter.
Just keep working on things. Backdoor cutters to lefties. Just keep taking what you have and make it better. And that's pretty much all I did.
The epitome of pitching backwards. I remember facing you, and no matter what you threw me, I always try to guess, and I guessed wrong.
Well, that's the only reason I was able to play as long as I did, because I could just, you know, I had enough stuff that I wasn't very predictable. Some days it didn't work out, but most days I wasn't predictable enough, and that way I could keep one step ahead of everybody and survive.
The jam shot pop-up out to Castellanos and right. Hey, Mike, we appreciate the visit, man. Good luck on the hardwood with your guys.
Thanks.
Run the picket fence on them.
You didn't make fun of Alex.
Watch the fence drop.
Don't worry.
Mike Mussina joining us. We'll be right back.
You take pride in your lawn, but there comes a time when your yard will outgrow your mower.
That's the time to turn to a Hustler. Zero-turn mower from Paint Proud Equipment. Heavy-duty till depths. Smooth trap tearing. Zero-turn cut quality. We're also a full-service repair shop. Time to get the job done with a Hustler mower. Tools, not toys.
Hustler Mowers, found at Hanks Power and Equipment, Aledo, Illinois.
I love imagining that new truck smell.
The Iowa Lottery Silverado Scratch Game has top prizes of $50,000. And if you don't win, play it again in the Summer of Silverado promotion for a chance to win a cash prize of $5,000 or one of 4 fun-riding, stuff-hauling, rock and rollin', fully loaded Chevy Silverados.
New truck smell?
You bet.
Woohoo! This is how we do the summertime, summertime.
Squeeze even more summer out of your summer. Save big on all 2019s during the Hyundai Epic Summer Clearance. And make your summer better than ever. The Hyundai Epic Summer Clearance.
Right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on a 2019 Tucson or Santa Fe. Only at Hyundai.
If your glasses aren't perfect, we'll fix them.
So will we. No, we won't.
Don't just get one pair of perfect glasses. Buy any pair at regular price, get one free. Really. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Back here in Williamsport, the Cubs leading the Pirates 2-0. And Joe, you threw yourself into these events today. You went down that hill where all the little leaguers slide on cardboard. You did that too. What was that like?
Professionally, I did it. That was the better part of my day. I watched Rizzo first. I was mentally watching his technique, and I felt pretty good about it. Back in the day, we used to go down the hill in car hoods back in Hazleton. So it was kind of like going down in a snowy hill in a car hood.
But then you threw out a first pitch, and then a second pitch, and a third pitch.
The third one got there. Not very proud of that. I was trying not to suck, but I did. But I wanted to try it. It did not work very well, but we'll practice again for the next time.
I know how much it means to be 90 minutes from Hazleton. Yeah. Joe, thanks. Matt, back to you.
Car hoods? Is that Joe being funny?
No.
I couldn't tell. Yeah.
Straight up. I can picture Joe Madden. Can you? Come on a car hood back home?
Go to the junkyard. I don't know, grab a hood off a 72 Dodge Dart.
Right?
And take it down the hill in the snow.
You tell it? Heck yeah. I'll tell you what, Joe, that was the first place he headed, was that hill. As soon as he got off the bus, the best is he grabs one of his best hitters in Anthony Rizzo. Such a bat right now. Hey, let's go ride the hill. I was thinking Theo Epstein had to be just cringing seeing Cole Hamilton go down and Chris Bryant, half the team.
It's Rizzo, Baez, and Schwarber against Mitch Keller here in the fourth. Couple of solo home runs powering the Cubs to a 2-0 lead.
I saw Cole going down. Oh, man. You get a hurt pitcher out of this?
Yeah, there's ball 4. Rizzo's aboard. Anthony is wearing a microphone for us tonight, and earlier having a good time with his new teammate Nick Castellanos.
Hey, I have a serious question for you. Is this your first Sunday night baseball game?
Huh?
Is this your first Sunday night baseball game?
Probably, at least in 2 years.
No radar guns.
No.
Messes me up. Is hot dog a sandwich?
Hot dog
is a hot dog a sandwich? Which is a sandwich.
Well, if the buns are split in half, like if you tear apart the buns, then it's a sandwich. If it's connected, then it's not a sandwich.
And we hate to dump out of the lengthy dissertation as to whether or not a hot dog constitutes a sandwich to bring you this double into the corner off the bat of Javier Baez. I think we could have heard that whole thing. It would have taken us through the 9th inning. They're still talking about that.
You know, young Keller walks Rizzo and is the first pitch breaking ball, trying to get a strike, looking for one. Baez in swing mode after the strikeout in his first at bat and rips a double. Perfect placement. The Cubbies are set up.
Perfect placement is right. He rolls over it, but gets it just down the line.
Javier Baez on such a terrific statistical pace. Double number 34 for him. And as Alex mentions, the Cubs are set up. Rizzo at third, Baez at second with nobody out for Kyle Schwarber.
And if you're Josh Bell right now, I'd like to see this first baseman take about 5 or 7 feet back, because with no outs, Rizzo's going to hold. He's a little bit too shallow.
1-1 to Schwarber. I mentioned earlier Kyle Schwarber homered on Thursday, his 100th career home run. And that got him to 100, the fastest in Cubs franchise history.
That's impressive,
right? I mean, you're talking about a team with a lot of history and a lot of great power hitters in its ranks over the years. 2 balls and a strike.
In a dream scenario here for Schwarber. Young pitcher on the mound, in the ropes, thinking left center to right center.
3 balls and a strike. The 5 innings from Mitch Keller in his last start, the one that netted his first big league victory, represented his longest of his 4 major league assignments. Solo homers in the first and in the third. A walk and a double here in the fourth, and he's behind Schwarber 3-1. Take the hack at a juicy fastball.
That was the big reason why. I mean, Mitch Keller, their top prospect, coming into this season, coming into last season, when he got sent down, the huge part wasn't the stuff. The stuff is there. The fastball is explosive. We've seen it. The curveball is real, but his command was the weakness. And they sent him down on June 19th, and that's something that they want to see better from him, and they know it'll come.
Full count to Schwarber. On the ground and through the hole on the left side. Rizzo scores easily. Here's Baez right behind him. 4-0 Chicago. Well, that's a plate appearance that's going to make Joe Madden really happy.
And you get the fastball away again. Cubs not trying to do too much. I like the abbreviated swing, understanding that contact is premium right now. And I love the approach, flat-footed. I mean, literally like a little 7 base hit, 2 ribbies. That's the kind of hitting they need to adapt in October, because that will play really well.
RBI 63 and 64 for Schwarber, and Alex, you bring out the reason why Joe Madden would be so pleased with that plate appearance as Ray Searage comes out to chat with his young starter. Joe during the week was quoted in the Chicago Tribune by Cubs beat writer Mark Gonzalez as being very frustrated with today's hitting pedagogy, the way hitting is being taught. And he went on to cite specific examples, saying if you see a player who has only roughly twice as many RBIs as home runs, that means his situational hitting probably lacks. Right? Singles can drive in runs too, and Joe is really frustrated with the kind of all or nothing approach that's, in his estimation, plagued Major League Baseball.
Yeah, and as an organization, you got to flip the script, and you have to reward players for great at-bats. Forget launch angle, forget strikeouts don't mean anything. It means a lot. It means you can't win. And what I like about that at-bat is home run was not even in his frame of mind. All he wanted to do was be a good hitter, and he just tip-tap, just a little pepper, and that's all it takes. There's times where you're going to be able to launch and drive. That's not one of them, and I know Joe Madden really appreciates that small baseball approach.
So now Victor Caratini, who grounded out to end the second in his first plate appearance. Keller concerned with Schwarber off the bag at first. Yeah, I guess, you know, an even bigger picture, Jess, some of that all or nothing stuff was really an issue with the Cubs last year, who in their wins scored huge numbers. In their losses, 1 or 0 runs, a staggering 39 games last year. It was kind of all or nothing, and I think some of that frustration is what Joe was talking about earlier this week.
Well, and I think all or nothing can work if you have 1 or 2 guys in your lineup that have that approach, that have the home runs, that can back it up with the RBIs, and then they have the strikeouts. But you need base runners. You need 6, 7 other guys in the lineup that are contact, that are going to get on base.
Now they try to put the hit and run on, and Schwarber's thrown out at second base.
Or is he?
He doesn't want to go anywhere. All the replays are done here locally for this game. The replay center in New York City is not connected to this ballpark. Oh boy, that's real close.
Yeah, for me, he snuck in there.
He probably felt it, because as soon as he pops up, that's what he signals.
So Joe is looking as though he's going to challenge this call. And again, the replay system is set up locally here at the ballpark.
The reason he's safe is because the catcher bounces it. And as a shortstop, you have to start low and come up. That little delay you see right there coming up, that gives Schwarber an opportunity to sneak in if he snuck in.
Wow, is that close?
I don't know if it's enough to overturn. I mean, Alex, I think you're right. I think his foot might sneak in there, but these replays, it's almost like bang, bang at the same time.
It's probably our best look. And for me, it's hard to tell. Toggle it back and forth for you. I mean, I think the foot might have gotten there a nano moment before the glove, but
a cleat might have nicked the white. Here we go.
Look at this.
Zoom in.
Super duper zoom.
I don't know. Might have gotten him.
Ball is upheld. I think, to your point, Jess, not enough there. Definitely worth the challenge. It was that close, so that's the first out of the inning. The hit and run, the run and hit. Boy, a lost art. I mean, Joe's going old school today. He just watched Schwarber, hit a 3-2 pitch into the hole to drive in 2, and now Caratini dumps a drive foul and right. Maybe Joe is inspired by being, just an hour and a half away from Hazleton, PA, and he thought that it was 1978 or something.
I'll tell you what's not going to inspire Joe, to your point earlier, Matt, is in 2017, 28 home runs, 62 ribbies. In 2017, 28 and 62, 30 and 59, 28 and 62. And if you think about the reverse of that, I grew up watching a guy like Keith Hernandez, Tommy Herr, single digits home runs, both over 100 RBIs. So what means is they're excellent at situational hitting, and Schwarber, as he gets older, who loves to hit, he will master that as well. That was a great start tonight.
That's what the Boston Red Sox have talked about as their downfall this year. The difference of winning a World Championship last year and struggling so much offensively this year, even though their numbers look to be very much the same. They've really lacked at situational hitting. Everything you just mentioned, Alex.
Yeah, just think about it. 100 home runs for Schwarber, 100 with 225 career RBIs. Tommy Herr had 8 home runs with 110 RBIs.
Full count to Victor Caratini, and there's ball 4. ESPN's telecast of Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell is brought to you by Gatorade. Nothing beats Gatorade. And Mother's High Performance Car Care, formulated for fanatics. You have to think that an attack that started with the Castellanos homer and included a Hayward homer, and here in the 4th has seen 2 more runs score, might get the Bucks bullpen going as Commissioner Rob Manfred obliges with some signatures in the crowd tonight. The only out this inning for Mitch Keller was recorded on the base paths.
That's a cool audience for a baseball game when really the only adults that are here are the coaches of the Little Leaguers, the commissioner of baseball, the general managers of both teams, and assistant general manager. I mean, you have Jed Hoyer, Theo Epstein, you got Steve Keener, who's the president of Little League. I mean, that's really, and they're all sitting together. There's like 10 adults and 2,000 kids.
Wild pitch. That one gets away into plate, and it gets Caratini to second with 1 gone.
There's a buzz and an excitement.
ESPN's Dave Fleming and Kyle Peterson have pretty good seats for this one, but rumor has it they actually snuck in without a ticket.
Tony Petitti there in front of Dave.
No, Dave was bragging on his broadcast today that he had a ticket. He was pumping that up. He was pretty excited.
He actually got the ticket. I was sitting next to him. He took the ticket out of his bag and showed us that he had an actual ticket to the game. He was so proud. He didn't have to work. He got to just sit as a fan.
Kemp sprays one into the opposite field, just foul. 2 balls and a strike to Tony Kemp, who came to the Cubs on deadline day in exchange for catcher Martin Maldonado. Do any of you remember Star Fox, the video game?
No.
I don't know what console Tony was playing. I don't remember Star Fox, and I was a video game tool. I still am, as a matter of fact. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kemp. Out to center field for Marte. Ooh, that carried on him a little bit for out number 2. A lot of Yankee baseball coming up on ESPN this week. Starting Tuesday as the Yankees visit the Oakland A's. Domingo Germán and Homer Bailey set to open up a 3-game series. Wednesday, same matchup, and then Sunday night baseball. Jess Buster, Alex, and I will be at Dodger Stadium for the Yankees and the Dodgers. Baseball tonight begins at 6 Eastern, a week from tonight, live from Los Angeles. 2 gone here, and now Jose Quintana will try to do something about that runner in scoring position. Quintana struck out looking in his first try tonight. He'll be the first to tell you that hitting is not a strength per se.
I love the fun unis, the Cubbies on the front. Of course, the nicknames on the back, but it's such a cool way for baseball to celebrate all the fun stuff.
On the ground for the shortstop Newman to retire the side. Cubs hang 2 more, however. Josh Bell bats second as we go to the bottom of the 4th in Williamsport tonight with the Cubs on top 4-0.
Okay, Thor, hit me.
Is that everyone? You wanted more?
Get Avengers Endgame on Blu-ray and digital today.
How do you think they make Starburst taste so juicy?
Starburst? Juice-Dradic equation. Super top secret mathematical formula they keep stored inside a safe, inside a vault, inside a volcano.
Oh, Juice-Dradics.
Starburst, unexplainably juicy.
Hitting the gym bod. Admiring gyms bod.
Hang with the pros bod.
Just average bro bod.
When support is what you need.
Hanes will keep them safe but free.
Everybody's happy in Hanes.
Flexing my fit bod. Forget it, I quit bod. Sweet bachelor pad bod.
Rocking that dad bod. Not too loose, not too tight. Hanes pouch fits just right. When you got the in your skin, you love the bod you're in. Everybody's happy in Hanes.
Shaving has been difficult for me. I have very sensitive skin. I get ingrown hairs. Oh, I love it. It's a great razor. It has that fence in the middle. It gives it a nice smooth shave. Just stopping that irritation, that burn that I get. I wouldn't use anything else.
It's a familiar feeling. The first chill in the summer air, and each day shorter than the last. This is what you live for. It's your season. So head to Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's Fall Hunting Classic sale and event.
Snapple tastes just like us apples.
How do you know what we taste like?
Remember when we were lost in the wilderness? 3 went in, 2 came out.
Oh. Other than that, pretty fun trip.
Snapple tastes just like fruit, but Snapple.
A classic rivalry, like an original piece of art, is timeless. 2 teams at the peak of their game. On Sunday Night Baseball. Yankees, Dodgers, next Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
All right, a little something for all the Yinzers watching back home in Pittsburgh tonight. The pierogi race has traveled
for the purse
from Pittsburgh to Williamsport without having to pay any state tolls. That's right. Have you ever had a pierogi, Jess?
No, I don't know what it is.
Have you ever had a Primanti sandwich?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You ain't lived yet until you've had a Primanti Brothers sandwich. They put the coleslaw and the fries in the sandwich itself. Oh yeah, it's
Is there
Pittsburgh
meat too?
delicacy.
Just coleslaw and fries.
And meat of your choice.
People on the
Love
berm,
that.
on the outside of the stadium, just trying to take in the game tonight.
Yeah,
All
you don't even
sold
need
out.
a ticket, right? I think those folks made their own view last year.
That's brilliant.
They're back. It always helps to have a painter in the family. Starling Marte leads things off in the Buccos half of the fourth. Marte, Bell, and Reynolds.
They're everywhere. Pretty soon it's going to be just like scaffolding all across. They'll make their own stands in the outfield.
I don't know that those are sanctioned seats per se, but hey, you know, enjoy.
Those are the ones that are cracking me up. I saw them from here. They're just in this, like, I don't even know what it is.
Give them an A+ for creativity, though.
No doubt. No doubt.
Good for them.
2 balls and no strikes to Marte. Trying to convert on a 5-game hitting streak tonight, and it's 2-1. You know, it's interesting. One of the things that Joe Madden discussed before the game, and I'm reminded of this as we take a view of those fans outside the ballpark, is that Major League Baseball brought in some additional lighting for this game. Marte testing the gap, and it's off the wall in left center field. First hit of the ball game. First extra base hit of the ball game, that is, for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Marte, the former all-star, changeup down here. Goes down, back knee goes all the way down, getting through the baseball. Swings down and the ball goes up. And then fun to watch him run. A 5-tool guy. Head down.
Runner in scoring position now for Josh Bell. With an RBI opportunity, sitting on a league-leading 98.
Hey guys, we had our first major leaguer at 101 RBI, that Rafael Devers today drove in a bunch of runs for the Red Sox. Josh Bell could be the first national leaguer to hit the century mark.
Trying to be the first Pirate to win an RBI title in quite some time. 1973 is the date you've got to go back to find the last Buck to accomplish that. Willie Stargell. So I was getting ready to talk about the ball in the gap and where that Marte double landed. Joe Madden was talking earlier about the fact that they weren't really sure about how the lights would play here. And as you take a look out there, there's one stanchion of lights that is significantly higher than the other two in both right and left field. That's an auxiliary set that was brought in to light this place as close to major league ready as possible, and it is. Joe mentioned he was positive that the lighting would be fine, but not quite sure how it would play specifically because of the fact that they brought in those 2 extra towers.
Matt, when we go into a new stadium as a player, we call it the shadow test for lights. And what that means is if you stand at home plate, can you see your shadow? And if you do, that means the lights are not very good. Most of Major League ballparks, you cannot see a shadow because the lights are very bright, almost like a day game.
Almost like Punxsutawney Phil checking to see if there's going to be an additional 4 weeks of winter. Can I see my shadow?
I looked at my shadows for a long time in New York.
And that had nothing to do with baseball.
Nothing. I'm still looking for the shadow.
It's cool watching the little leaguers signing autographs for other kids their own age. I mean, I'm watching this kid right here from Oregon. He's right in front of us. And before that, he had like 5-6 kids surrounding him. He was just trying to go to the bathroom and back. And kids are chasing him, running after him. I mean, guys, that's what I love about here. Is just, I mean, kids, this is probably the first time they're ever signing stuff. They're stars.
That's right. And that's how you get hooked. As a little kid, you come out, you get the bright lights, you're sharing the same kind of field and feel, playing on ESPN. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Ball and no strikes, the count to Brian Reynolds.
Just last year, the must-have autograph was Big Al, because remember he hit dingers, right? Who do you think is the must-have autograph among players this year?
Maddie Frecking? Yes, no? Winner?
Oh, I'm asking you.
Oh, I would think Maddie, but I mean, I'm biased. She's only female this year. She's gotten a ton of attention. It's been cool. She's the first female to be here at Little League since Monet Davis. And I'll tell you what, she's been walking around everywhere. Even the Minnesota Lynx, their head coach wore her jersey in their game a couple nights ago. I mean, that's so cool. WNBA. There's Maddie right there signing up. There you go. Most wanted buster. I'd say she's number 1.
She's got that crowd around her.
There's Minnesota Lynx head coach, Cheryl Reeve. I love it. Tweeted it out, wore it the whole game. So many supporters all around. She pitched actually today, only the 6th pitcher that's female to pitch in the Little League World Series.
2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Brian Reynolds. I don't think Maddie's quite sure if she can enjoy the game or if she has to be on display for the rest of the night.
I was cool. I was spending some time with her and her parents, and she's like, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, genuinely, she just feels like she's one of the boys. And it makes me so happy to think in 2019, it's never been a big deal for her to play. And it wasn't really until she got here that people noticed the blonde ponytail and were like, wait, hold up. You're the only girl here.
And just what I love is a trend up in Major League Baseball with little kids playing baseball and softball as well. There you go. Sweet hands.
Awesome defensive plays. She's been all over it. She said that they've said she's their best defender. She was nails, by the way. So tough. Got a few swing and misses. Look at that face. Concentration, had a little sink. Atta girl, Maddie.
That is Tatum O'Neal from Bad News Bears. Really. I mean, she's got the freckles and the ponytail coming out of the back of the cap.
Hey guys,
swing and a miss by Reynolds.
Maddie, I know we talk about the NFL and NBA. They're doing great stuff, but here's the bottom line. After 2018, you have over 26 million young people that are playing baseball and softball. 26 million. So when you talk about what Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, their initiative to really reconnect with the next generation, they're doing a marvelous job. And if you're a kid at home anywhere in the world and you see all these kids, I know my kids, they're like, Dad, I want to be there. FOMO. They want to be here.
Yeah, their play ball initiative to just try to get more kids in general just excited, exposed. Inner city kids, their RBI program. I mean, across the board. Now the big don't retire movement. So many kids are talking about quitting sports at this age, 11, 12 years old.
And it begs the question, is this something that maybe Major League Baseball can incorporate once a month and have the youth come out?
Into the opposite field for Castellanos, and the leadoff double is left stranded. The Pirates now 0 for their last 18 with runners in scoring position. Top of the order in the top of the 5th. We head that way in a 4-0 Cubs lead.
You go ahead. Royals? Cardinals. Don't even think about it.
Rivalries are tough. Saving money with Geico is easy. Geico, proud partner of MLB.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Silverado. With 50 industry firsts, it's the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever.
Discover. Hi. Hi, do you have a travel card? Yep, our miles card. Earn unlimited 1.5 miles and we'll match it at the end of your first year.
Nice. I'm thinking about a scuba diving trip.
Ooh. Or not. You okay? Yeah, no, I'm good.
Earn miles. We'll match them at the end of your first year.
What are we playing to this time?
How about a game of MVP?
4:15 to right field.
Right field with the Kirk Gibson trot. Seat 15.
That's an M.
Dodger dogs all day.
Woo! Extra kraut, please. Foul pole.
That looks like a V.
All tied up. Looks like I win MVP again.
Let's run it back.
Back here in Williamsport, top of the 5th inning, Cubs lead the Pirates 4-0. Mitch Keller's a big part of your present and your future. What have you seen in him tonight?
Well, see, he's trying to navigate this lineup. He got hung a breaking ball. Nick hit it out. Hayward hit a ball. I was kind of surprised when he got out of here. He hit it hard. Then we had a ship beater over there to score too, though. Trying to fight his way through it. Trying to be unpredictable. Behind in too many counts right now. It's probably we're paying the price for that a little bit with some veteran hitters over there.
When you managed here at Bowman Field, 1991, how different is this atmosphere than what you're seeing tonight?
There's a lot more fans, and the only thing that's the same is we're on the same site because this place is beautiful now. It's beautiful. Really happy to be here. Thankful and grateful. Like I tell everybody, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We've got to do it twice. So, fantastic idea by MLB, Rob Manfred and his group. Big applause to everybody.
Thanks. Matt, back to you.
Yeah, Buster, thank you. And, you know, for Clint, this is a special part of the world, of course. Not only did he come through here as a player and a manager, but he met his wife here.
Who had a chance?
Young Clint Hurdle, post-playing career, skippering the Williamsport Bills, a Mets affiliate back in the day.
It's been around.
And Sports Illustrated cover many years ago, almost 3 decades ago.
Jason Hayward with a high drive out to right center field. Reyes and Marte are back there, and it's off the wall. Hayward just missed his second of the game. A leadoff double in the Cubs' half of the 5th.
First a home run to left, and now getting on top of that ball, driving it, using his legs. Good view right here. They were getting on top of that ball right there, head down for a double.
When he gets extended, Alex, I mean, he has got one of the most powerful swings when he can get extended. We saw him with the home run away out of the ballpark. That one, he gets it up, extension, off the wall.
And it's a good sign for Hayward that 1 out of his 10 hits go to left field. Already a home run, has 2 this month to left field. Good sign for Hayward and the Cubbies.
So here's Castellanos now, who, like Hayward, has homered tonight. Nick's also added a single. Boy, he has paid such big immediate dividends after the trade. He was in the midst of a good, if not unspectacular, season with the Tigers. The time of the deal, hitting .273, a .790 OPS in 100 games. But he's taken the offensive part of his game to a new level as a Cub.
Matt, and this was part of the Cubs conversation before they traded for him. They knew that he was a good player, but he's a free agent at year's end, and they figured that he'd be energized coming over to the Cubs, being dropped into a pennant race. You heard Anthony Rizzo teasing him, hey, when's the last time you played on Sunday Night Baseball? Well, he's getting an opportunity to play in a lot of big games now.
Ball in the strike, the count to Castellanos. He's on a pace for 59 doubles this year. There has not been a 60 double season since 1936 when John Smoltz's uncle Charlie Gehringer had 60.
Wow. And Matty, if you're the Cubs and Castellanos right here, you want to stay disciplined, get greedy, have a good at bat, think right center field, get Hayward to third, forget about the score. There's a dress rehearsal for October. Get the big man Bryant up 1 out with a man on third at least.
Teeth of the order waiting on deck, Bryant and Rizzo. Baez to follow should it go that far. Fastball on the corner, got him. Hey, a reminder, tomorrow on ESPN Plus, we'll have the first of a 3-game set between the Rockies and Diamondbacks. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Download the app for a free game every day, or go to ESPNplus.com. You can watch the game anywhere. A big first out on the strikeout, number 5 for Keller, and now it's Bryant.
And I love the home run by Castellanos early in the game, but I would have loved even something in right center field there. Get the guy over, because these are the bats that are going to count the most, and they will hurt later on. They're subtle mistakes here. They're mental mistakes, not physical ones. And a completely different at bat here for Kris Bryant. Instead of having the infield in, where he can get the ball by the infield with a ribby, now he has 1 out, men on second, forcing him to get a base hit to drive in a run.
Hayward and Castellanos have homered tonight. Bryant homered yesterday. In fact, it was the game winner, a solo shot in the 7th. Two balls and a strike. We talked about Schwarber hitting his 100th career homer earlier this week. For Bryant, the homer yesterday, his 25th of the season, and that makes this the earliest by calendar date that the Cubs have had 3 players with at least 25 homers on the year, joining Schwarber and Baez. And here's Bryant yesterday, the aforementioned 7th inning solo shot against Stephen Brault. Cubs would win it 2-0.
Kris Bryant has been so consistent throughout this entire season, and we've seen him have his ups and downs since his MVP year.
That's into the corner, and that'll bring Hayward around from second. Bryant's now hit safely in 10 of his last 12, and it's 5-0 Chicago.
And for Keller, same mistake he made against Castellanos, the 2-2 breaking ball for a strike, Jessica. We've talked about that. Not a good idea. Gives enough time for the former MVP Bryant to flick it for a double and a ribby.
That's the thing with Kris Bryant, is the length. I mean, he's so tall. He gets down in his legs in his stance, but he gets wide with his body, with his arms, and that's what he showed on the off-speed pitch. I mean, he's beat here for the rest of his body, but look at the length he'll get with his arms. Look at this complete extension to stay through that enough to get it to the grass.
That's going to be the end of the night for Mitch Keller. Chris Stratton's being called on from the bullpen. The Pirates double switch, and we'll be right back.
You know there's no path. Just the determination to get there. Perfect the craft. Move the impossible. Knowing the more you take on, the stronger you get. The 2019 Ram heavy-duty pickups. Always on to bigger things.
Time to drop some phone knowledge on you. Get a wireless plan for up to half the cost of the big carriers. The Straight Talk Wireless Unlimited plan is just $45 a month, no contract. All on America's best networks. Plus $200 off the Samsung Galaxy S9. Class dismissed. Straight Talk Wireless.
Okay, paint a picture for me.
This will be the kitchen.
And we'd like to put a fire pit out there and a dock with
A boat, maybe.
Why haven't you started building?
Well, Tyler's off to college.
And Mom's getting older.
And eventually we would like to retire.
Yeah, it's a lot, but TD Ameritrade can help you build a plan for today and tomorrow.
Great. Can you help us pour the foundation too?
Thanks. I think you want a house near the lake, not in it.
Come with a goal, leave with a plan. TD Ameritrade.
This is Justin.
Hey, what's up?
This is Justin's Brewery on East 4th.
This here is my beer.
Justin knows beer, but he's not so strong on trademark infringement.
We don't allow language like that in here.
So he counts on LegalZoom for help with a lot of the legal stuff that's part of running a business.
Really nice people.
We helped him with an LLC and trademarks for all his beers.
What he said.
Which means Justin can get back to what he loves.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
This is Justin's pride and joy. And this is where life meets legal.
Hey, time now for tonight's Coast to Coast Connection, brought to you by T-Mobile. No rookie in National League history has ever hit more home runs than Pete Alonso. His 40th of the year today, all part of an 11-5 next victory over the Royals. Matt?
Wow, Zubin, and I guess with Fernando Tatis Jr. most likely done for the season, you can already sign up Pete Alonso for that National League Rookie of the Year award. What a magical season. Pitching change, couple of changes for the Pirates. The former Giant and Angel right-hander Chris Stratton takes over on the mound.
He's had 20 strikeouts and 18 innings pitched his last 10 games. Fastball, slider, curveball. Melky Cabrera goes into right field. Leche, as you like to call him, Alex.
Stratton falls behind Anthony Rizzo, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, I think the takeaway for Ray Searage and Mitch Keller, his young pupil tonight, will be that when that first batter reaches base, good things generally don't happen. Well hit out to left center field toward the scoreboard and gone. Anthony Rizzo with a Roy Hobbesian blast into the scoreboard and light tower. Oh my!
An absolute bomb here by Anthony Rizzo. We talked about him before the game of how important it is to get going. Look at the back knee going down to the ground. And the minute he hit it, he knew it. He loved it off the bat.
You could just watch him sit back and just watch it.
He knew this was going halfway up the street. My goodness.
You hear that?
And here's Baez now.
You could hear from here.
And that's a great sound. That's a sound you don't hear often in Major League Baseball stadiums.
The only thing missing from that replay was the exploding stadium lights and the original Randy Newman score. Man. 7-0 Chicago. Well, here it is, folks. I mean, this is kind of playing out before our very eyes, and we were all kind of wondering among ourselves. The Cubs' miserable road season, and this being technically a road game yet played on a neutral site.
Yeah.
Would this be the kind of game that kind of shakes them free of their road demons? And so far the answer is yes.
They win tonight, which they're looking pretty good on right now. It'll be the first road series win in 3 months. And it has been inherited. And it becomes where, yeah, okay, of course you play better at home. But for the Cubs, they're even saying, how do we shake this? I mean, they've been trying to do everything. Superstitions, eating certain things. They even brought their home uniforms on the road the last 2 road trips. Kept them in the locker just to try.
And there's a good start right here when your star players, they sound like this. In this case, a double sound. And it's a thing of beauty, and now dancing in the dugout is a beautiful thing. Oh, Chris Bryant gets in there. You know, Matt, to answer your question, this can be a turning point for them. And the reason why, it always starts with great pitching and a solid pitching outing. That sets the tone for you. But they've played big ball, small ball. And that's the kind of combination you need, because that's an evergreen approach.
Ball and no strikes is the count to Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber has contributed tonight, a 2-run single that came in the 4th. So I want to finish off that thought and finish talking about Mitch Keller, because we had mentioned how when that leadoff hitter reaches, it hadn't meant good things. Opponents have now scored in all 7 innings when Keller allows the first batter to reach base. And again, small sample size. He's making only his 5th start tonight, but file that in the category of lessons learned for a young starter.
Seven hits, 4 1/3 innings, 6 runs he gave up, 5 strikeouts. You guys, the stuff is there. It's been the command and just his ability to really need a changeup. I mean, these Cubs hitters were sitting on 2 pitches tonight.
Yeah, kind of a mixed bag on the Budweiser pitching summary tonight for Mitch Keller.
And one small little lesson, right? Because it's hard to tell a young player. They're not going to become Mike Mussina overnight. But I always say little bites, digestible. Let's take one pitch, the breaking ball. I want you to throw the breaking ball early for strikes, but once you get to 2 strikes, I want you to bounce it. The most dangerous pitch in baseball is a breaking ball for a strike with 2 strikes, because a hitter, it just looks like a BP fastball, and you're defending.
It's a thank you.
And there's ball 4 to Schwarber. Well, we've already talked about the Players Weekend jerseys. Your favorite teams and players, their favorite swag. Catch all 30 teams sporting nicknames on specially designed jerseys and rocking custom gear during Players Weekend. Coming up August 23rd through the 25th. Follow MLB on social media for all Players Weekend coverage. Here's Victor Caratini now. Caratini is grounded out to second and walked tonight. What would Jessica Mendoza's players only jersey read back in the day for Team USA?
Dozer.
Dozer?
Yep. That was my nickname. Doza, Dozer, Doze.
Got it.
Alex is easy.
We talk about all the players who came through this building and played in this ballpark over the years. It includes you, friend.
There's some launch angle there.
I'm watching it a little bit. Like go by bottom hand. That was our barnstorm tour on the way to the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Stopped here, Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
2 balls and a strike to Caratini.
Did you ever have, Alex, another nickname?
It wouldn't be for television. Seriously, Jess, the highlight of your career, was it China, Beijing? Tell me, what was the highlight?
Oh, Athens, Greece. I'm a history nerd. You go back to where the original Olympic Games were played, and you win gold. And I'm telling you, as much as I love the game, you really get an appreciation for your country. And I know that sounds very Olympic, but you get over there, you meet players from all over the world, similar to here. I mean, the players, the experience that they get at the Grove, living with players from Japan, from Venezuela, and you get to figure out a way to communicate. It's very similar.
Look out. Kick save and a beauty for Stratton. He bounced it right to Frazier, who took advantage of the hop to record the final out of the inning. Not before 3 more score for the Cubs in a 7-0 game.
Before Harry's, guys like John, and John here were overpaying for razors. But then we started selling high-quality shaving supplies at a fair price. Our customers, like Gary, seem to like that. Pablo likes the fact that he gets such a close, comfortable shave. David appreciates the precision trimmer for the little details. And guys like Mike saved enough money to finally check shaving a Scottish lock off his bucket list. Whatever works for you, Mike. Harry's, now available at Walmart, Target, and harrys.com.
Forge of Empires. Develop your own city from the Stone Age to the future. Available in the App Store and at FOE.tv. Forge of Empires. Play now.
I know what it's like to be in a financially struggling family. We had a lot of leftovers. I couldn't have asked for better parents, but like most people, they didn't have anyone to teach them the best financial habits, so we changed that. As a financial health coach, I help people every day. I try to put myself in their shoes from my own experience. I connect to them because I've been there. Helping families like mine save a little money changes everything. This is personalized guidance. This is Wells Fargo.
We trust USA more than any other company out there. They give us excellent customer service every time.
Our 18-year-old was in an accident. USA took care of her car rental and getting her car towed. All I had to take care of was making sure that my daughter was okay.
If I met another veteran and they were with another insurance company, I would tell them, you need to join USAA because they have better rates and better service.
We're the Gomez family.
We're the Rivera family.
We are the Kirby family, and we are USAA members for life.
Get your auto insurance quote today.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. This telecast is presented by Taco Bell. Having a good time tonight in a very intimate setting in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, here at historic Bowman Field in a 7-0 Cubs lead, where Buster is joined by a special guest.
And I'm sitting right behind home plate with Tommy Van Bissler, who's getting some ice cream now. He plays for Team Oregon, and he told me right before Anthony Rizzo came to the plate that Rizzo is his favorite player. And Tommy, Anthony Rizzo hit a home run. How cool was that?
That's probably the best moment I've seen in baseball. Someone hitting a home run, my favorite player? Wow.
So tell me, what was your favorite conversation talking with a player today?
Well, probably with Josh Bell, when we were talking about his favorite emojis and his longest home run. Because he didn't know his longest home run. He guessed it was 474, but then some random guy just said, I think you're wrong. It's 478.
Now, I feel honored because you're choosing to do the interview rather than have the chocolate ice cream. Hopefully it won't all melt by the time we get done. You said this is your first major league game that you've come to. What's it like to sit behind home plate and watch these pitchers?
I don't know. I've watched so many college games, but I've never been behind the plate. And on my first majors game and watching how fast they throw, well, that's something else.
Now, you want to be a marine biologist. How come?
Well, ever since I was 4, I've always been so excited looking into tide pools and seeing all of the animal life down there. And when I was 6 years old, I think, I found a tide pool with a lingcod in it, which is a fish with big teeth, pretty much. And I pulled it out of the hole, and it shook